Today, we're going to crochet this daisy shawl. As you can see, the shawl is made up of numerous daisy motifs. The entire shawl consists of 53 full daisies and 9 half daisies. We'll be using the join as you go method to assemble the daisies into an obtuse triangle-shaped shawl. After finishing the crochet work, we'll add a green yarn edging around the entire shawl to give it a neat and polished finish. First, we'll start by crocheting the first daisy. Using the yellow yarn, create a magic ring to begin crocheting the center of the flower. To create the magic ring, hold the yellow yarn with your hand and wrap it around your finger twice to form 2 loops. Wrap the yarn around your little finger, then transfer the 2 loops to your other hand. Take your 3 mm crochet hook and insert it into the large loop. Hook the yarn and pull it through. You should now see a loop on your crochet hook. Next, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. You'll notice a V-shaped stitch forming. This is your first chain stitch. Yarn over once more and pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. This creates your second chain stitch. Then third chain. These 3 chain stitches will serve as the turning stitch. Next, we'll crochet 12 double crochet stitches. Start by yarn over, so you have 2 loops on the crochet hook. Then, insert the hook into the large loop, and pull the yarn through. You should now have 3 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops still on the crochet hook. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops, completing your first double crochet stitch. Stretch out the loop slightly and place a marker in the first V-shaped stitch to mark the beginning of the round. We'll now crochet the remaining 11 double crochet stitches using the same method. Let me show you how to do it again. After finishing, pull out the loop slightly, then count the stitches to ensure you have 12 V-shaped stitches. Next, gather the stitches together and find the short tail of the yarn. Gently pull on it to locate the moving loop. Then, pull this loop in the opposite direction until the hole in the center gets smaller. Finally, pull the tail until the loop closes completely, securing the center of your daisy. Next, make a slip stitch into the first stitch to close the circle. Remove the stitch marker and insert the crochet hook into the marked stitch. Place the reserved yarn tail onto the hook, then yarn over the hook and pull through the stitch, and then through the loop on the hook. Leave a tail of 2 to 4 inches. Cut the yarn and pull the loop out. Next, we'll take the cream yarn to crochet the petals. Each flower will have 12 petals. Leave a tail of about 2 inches, and then tie a knot to secure it. Take the yellow piece and locate the spot where we made the slip stitch. Insert the crochet hook into this spot, then place the yarn tail over the hook, and place the loop onto the hook and pull the white loop through. Next, crochet 5 chain stitches. Now, we're going to crochet a double treble stitch. Start by yarn over the hook 3 times, so you have 4 loops on the hook. Then, insert the hook into the same stitch. Yarn over the hook and draw the yarn through the stitch. You should now have 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over the hook again and pull through 2 loops on your hook, leaving 4 loops on the hook. Repeat this step 3 more times. The double treble crochet stitch is now completed. Next, crochet 5 chain stitches. After that, insert your hook back into the same stitch. Then, make a slip stitch. Now that we've completed the first petal, we'll continue by crocheting the second petal into the next stitch. Locate the second stitch. First we make a slip stitch. Next, repeat the process as the petal. Make 5 chains. followed by a double treble crochet. Then, 5 chain stitches again. Finally crochet a slip stitch into the same stitch to finish the second petal. Next, make a slip stitch into the third stitch to start the third petal. Use the same method as before to finish all the 12 petals. Cut off the yarn tail and keep crocheting. After making a slip stitch in the last stitch, we make another slip stitch at the position of the first stitch from previous round. Pull the loop tightly and stretch out the loop. Leave a 2 inches tail and cut the yarn. The first daisy is finished. We can count to check there are 12 petals in total. And repeat to crochet 53 flowers by following this pattern. Now, let's demonstrate how to crochet the half petal. Take out the yellow yarn and leave a tail of 2 inches, then tie a single knot. Hold the bottom of the loop. Insert the hook into the loop and crochet 4 chain stitches. Then insert the hook into the half stitch of the first chain. Crochet 6 double crochets in this position. Yarn over, so there are 2 loops on the hook, then insert the hook into the first chain stitch and pull out the loop. So there are 3 loops on the crochet hook now. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops, leaving 2 loops still on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops at once. That complete our first double crochet stitch. Pin a marker at the first stitch. Then crochet the remaining 5 double crochet stitches into the same half stitch. No need to worry if the chain stitch looks small. The yarn is stretchy and will give a bit. After finishing the 6 double crochets, pull out loop and cut off the yarn. Next, let's crochet 6 petals of the half flower. First, leave a 2 to 3 inches yarn tail and tie a knot. Remove the marker and hook into the first stitch which was marked. Just like crocheting the petals as before, we first crochet 5 chain stitches. Followed by a double treble crochet. One double treble crochet stitch is finished. Continue with 5 chains. Make a slip stitch in the same stitch to complete the first petal. Use the same method to finish the remaining 5 petals. We have finished the 6 petals. Now, repeat the process to crochet a total of 9 half flower. After crocheting all the flower pieces, take out the first flower and start crocheting the outer edge of it. Then, continue crocheting the edge while connecting the petals together. While edging, we combined 12 small petals into 6 sets of large petals. We crocheted 2 rounds. In the first round, we paired 2 small petals together to form the large petals. In the second round, we used slip stitches and chain stitches for edging. Take the green yarn and make a slip knot at 3 to 3.5 inches from the end. Locate the stitch where we made the last slip stitch. Insert the crochet hook into this stitch. Place the loop onto the hook, and pull it through the stitch. Then make 5 chains. Locate the stitch which is corresponding to the double treble crochet. Make a single crochet in this stitch. Then continue with 3 chains. Next, locate the stitch corresponding to the double treble crochet of the second petal, and work a single crochet into that stitch. Keep on crocheting 5 chains. Next, make a slip stitch at the bottom of the third petal. Tighten the stitch. This completes the edging of the first group. Repeat the same process to edge the remaining petals of the first round. Now, we've reached the final step. To finish the last petal, start by crocheting 2 chain stitches, then work a treble crochet stitch. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Insert the hook into the starting stitch and pull the yarn through. Yarn over again and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this step 2 more times. This completes a treble crochet. Now, to begin the second round, crochet 7 chain stitches. Next, locate the large gap next to the chain stitches of the first petal. Insert the hook into that gap and make a slip stitch. After that, crochet 5 chain stitches and make a slip stitch into the large gap below the top 3 chain stitches. Next, crochet 5 chain stitches, then make a slip stitch into the large gap beside the next set of chain stitches. The first group of stitches in the second round is now complete. Follow the same method to finish the rest of the second round. Let's demonstrate it again. 7 chains. Then a slip stitch and 5 chains. Slip stitch in the gap and 5 chains again. A slip stitch beside the chains. After completing the final 5 chain stitches, make a slip stitch into the corresponding stitch of the last treble crochet stitch from the first round. Stretch out the loops and cut off yarn. We have completed the first daisy flower and its outer edge. Now, as we crochet the second flower, we will begin connecting it to the first flower. Before connecting, let's crochet the first round of the edging for the second flower, then, find the connection points of the first flower. It is located at the 2 7 chain stitches and 2 5 chain stitches of any large petal. In the same way, the connection point for the second flower will be on one of the large petals, at the 2 7 chain stitches and 2 5 chain stitches. So, crochet the second round of edging up to the starting 7 chains of any petal. Here we have completed the second round of 4 large petals. Let's start connecting. First, crochet 3 chain stitches. Then, stretch out the loop and insert the hook from top to bottom into the large space created by the 7 chain stitches. Then place the loop on the hook and draw loop out and keep on crocheting 4 chains. After that, make a slip stitch in the large gap beside the 5 chains from first round. Let's take a look. The position of the 7 chain stitches has been connected. Next, we'll demonstrate how to connect the 5 chain stitches. First, crochet 2 chains. Then, stretch out the loop and insert the hook from top to bottom into the space created by the 5 chain stitches of the first flower. Place the loop on the hook and draw the loop out and keep on crocheting 3 chains. Please note, do not pull the connection chain too tightly. Next, make a slip stitch into the gap below the 3 chain stitches, then continue by crocheting 2 more chain stitches. Stretch out the loop and insert the hook from top to bottom into the hole of the 5 chains. Place the loop on the hook and draw the loop out and keep on crocheting 3 chains. Make a slip stitch in the large gap beside the 5 chains. Next, crochet 3 chain stitches again. Then stretch out the loop and insert the hook from top to bottom into the hole of the 7 chain stitch of the first flower. Place the loop on the hook. Draw the loop out and keep on crocheting 4 chains. At last, make a slip stitch in the large gap beside the 5 chains of the next petal. At this point, we can see that the 2 flowers are now connected. Next, let's continue by finishing the remaining stitches of the second round. Stretch out the loop and cut off the yarn. In total, there will be 15 flowers in the first row of the shawl. We will now connect the remaining 13 flower pieces one by one. When connecting, ensure that the top 2 petals face upwards, the bottom 2 petals face downwards, and the middle petal is aligned horizontally. After connecting the first row of 15 petals, we move on to the second row. For the first and last petals of the second row, we will connect half a flower each, while for the middle section, we will connect 12 full flowers. Let me now demonstrate how to connect half a flower. First, let's edge the half flower with first round. Leave a 2 inches yarn tail and tie a single knot. Insert the hook into the bottom stitch of the first petal, then place the loop onto the hook. Pull out the loop and make 5 chains. Make a single crochet stitch into the corresponding stitch of the double treble stitch of the first small petal. Then crochet 3 chains, and make a single crochet stitch in the corresponding stitch of the double treble stitch of the second small petal. Keep on crocheting 5 chains and make a slip stitch in the bottom of the second petal. Following the previous steps, we edge the remaining 4 petals in the same manner. To finish the first round of edging, crochet 2 chain stitches. Then, crochet a single crochet into the large hole at the center of the flower, followed by 2 chain stitches, and finally, make a slip stitch into the bottom stitch of the first small petal. Now, we begin the second round of edging while connecting as we crochet. Start by connecting the 7 chain stitches. The side large petal of the half flower will be connected to the bottom left large petal of the first flower in the first row. And the middle large petal will be connected to the bottom right large petal of the second flower in the first row. The 7 chain stitches that have already been connected will also need to be connected again in this step. Let me demonstrate how to connect them. Please note the previous 7 chains need to be connected as well. First, crochet 2 chains. Pull out the loop, then insert the hook from top to bottom into the large space created by the 5 chain stitches. Next, crochet 3 chains. Make a slip stitch under the 3 chains of the half flower. Then chain 2. Insert the hook into the large gap created by the 5 chain stitches of the flower petal in the first row, followed by 3 chains. Then, make a slip stitch in the gap of 5 chains of the half flower. First, we crochet 3 chain stitches. We are now at the point where the 2 7-chain stitches connected. Now, let's find the connection point. It is located at the connected chain stitch of the second flower in the first row. Insert the hook into this stitch from top to bottom. Then, place the loop on the hook and then continue to crochet a chain. In this way, the half flower is now connected to the middle part of the first and second flowers in the first row. We keep on crocheting 3 chains. After that, make a slip stitch in the gap of the 5 chain stitches of the next petal. Use the same method to continue connecting the remaining petals, following the connection path shown in the top right picture of the video or the instructions. After connecting, finish the second round of edging. In the last stitch of the edging, make a slip stitch into the large gap of the 5 chain stitches. Next, we will join 12 full flowers in the middle section of the second row. Let's demonstrate. After edging the first round, let's look at the petals needs to be connected. This flower will be connected to the 3 surrounding petals. Here, we have finished the second round of the first 2 petals. Now, at the position of the 7 chain stitches of the second petal, we first crochet 3 chain stitches. Insert the hook into the corresponding flower petal's position with 7 chain stitches, then continue by crocheting 4 more chain stitches. Then make a slip stitch and crochet 2 chains. Locate the position of the corresponding 5 chain stitches. Connect to this position and then crochet 3 chain stitches. After making a slip stitch in the space below the 3 chain stitches, crochet 2 more chain stitches. Find the position of the corresponding 5 chain stitches and connect with 3 chain stitches again. Make a slip stitch in the gap beside the 5 chains. Now we have reached the connection point where the 3 petals meet. They are connected by 7 chain stitches. Just like before, the insert point here is in the connected chain stitch. First, create 3 chains. Insert the hook into the connecting stitch, pull up a loop, and then crochet 4 chain stitches. A slip stitch into the gap beside the 5 chains of the next petal. Then, crochet 2 chain stitches and connect them in the large gap of the 5 chains at this point. Use the same method to connect the next position. Now, we have reached to the position where the 3 petals connected by the 7 chains. Crochet 3 chains. Then insert the hook into the intersection spot, and crochet 4 chain stitches. Make a slip stitch and continue to finish the remaining 3 connection spots. Finally, connect the last section of 7 chain stitches. Now, we continue crocheting the second round of edging without any further connections. Cut off the yarn. Let's summarize the connection pattern. The first petal is connected to the petal of the half flower, starting from the 7 chain stitches and continuing until the intersection of the next 2 sets of 7 chain stitches. The second petal is connected to the petal of the second flower in the first row, continuing until the intersection of the next 2 sets of 7 chain stitches. The third petal is connected to the petal of the third flower in the first row, continuing until the next 7 chain stitches. The remaining petals are not be connected. We will use the same method to connect the remaining full flowers in the second row. Now we are at the position of the last half flower in the second row. The process is the same as with the first half flower. Let's demonstrate it again. First, connect the 7 chains. Next, connect the 5 chains. Keep connecting as before. We have reached the location between 2 petals where there are 7 chain stitches. Crochet 3 chain stitches, then crochet 4 more chain stitches at the connecting point. Repeat the above method to link the remaining petals. Finally, we connect the 7 chain stitches to complete the second round of this petal. Make a slip stitch in the large hole next to the 5 chains. Next, we will crochet the third row, which consists of 11 complete petals. Let's take a look at how they are linked together. After positioning the flowers, we can see that the diagonally opposite petals from the top and bottom align in a straight line with the diagonally opposite petals of the first and second rows. The same applies to the other side. Following this alignment, we will connect each corresponding stitch. After completing the first round of edging, choose any large petal and begin the connection at the starting 7 chain stitches. Locate the corresponding connecting spot and make the link. Continue to crochet 4 chains. Then, make a slip stitch with the next petal. Next, we are going to connect the 2 5 chains. 2 chains and connect to the corresponding stitch. Keep on crocheting 3 chains. Then a slip stitch in the large hole. Use the same method to connect the next 5 chains. We are now at the position of the 7 chain stitches. First, crochet 3 chain stitches. Just like before, locate the connected stitch and link them at this point. Make a slip stitch in the large gap and keep on connecting. Continue linking at the positions of the 7 chain stitches. We have now completed the connection of the first flower in the 3rd row. Remember to finish the remaining stitches of the 2nd round of the first petal, which are not yet connected to any other petals. Using these methods, along with the diagrams and petal combinations in the instructions, we can proceed with the remaining connections until the last row. Now we are at the position of the last flower piece in the 7th row. Let's take a look at how to connect it. In the last row, we will use only 1/2 flower. We will position the petals facing downwards. Start the 2nd round of edging by crocheting 3 chain stitches first. The connection point will be the 7 chain stitches on the left side of the petal from the previous round. Insert the hook into this position and crochet 4 chains. Then a slip stitch in the large hole. Since the 3 petals are facing outward, they do not need to be connected. We will edge these 3 petals as usual. Now, we have reached the last 7 chains of the flower. The unworked 7 chain stitches will be connected to the 7 chain stitches of the right side petal from the previous row. Make 3 chains and link with the corresponding 7 chains. A slip stitch in the large hole. We can see that there are 5 remaining connection points. Let's connect them accordingly. First, crochet 2 chain stitches, insert the hook into the corresponding large space, and then continue crocheting 3 more chain stitches. Make a slip stitch into the large space created by the 2 chain stitches. Then make 2 chains. Connect to the second 5 chain stitches and create 3 chains. We will make the slip stitch in the single crochet stitch from the first round edging. Now we are at the position where the 2 7 chain stitches meet. Crochet 3 chains. Insert the hook into the connected stitch. Pull the loop through and crochet 4 chains. Then make a slip stitch into the single crochet stitch again. Then crochet 2 chain stitches and connect it to the corresponding 5 chains. Make a slip stitch in the next large hole created by 2 chains. Next crochet 2 chain stitches and connect it to the next 5 chains. Then a slip stitch into the large hole of the 7 chain stitches created at the beginning of the second round edging. Stretch out the loop and cut off the yarn. Now, let's edge the entire outer border of the shawl to give the outer side a neater and more polished look. We will start edging from the right side of the triangular shawl. Find the rightmost flower, then insert the hook into the large space of the 7 chain stitches on the right side of the 2 upward-facing petals to begin the edging process. Take the yarn and tie a single knot. Insert the hook into this position, pull out the loop, and then crochet 6 chain stitches. Then crochet a single crochet stitch into the next large hole, followed by 3 chains. Continue by crocheting another single crochet stitch into the next hole. 3 chains. We are at the point between the petals, noting that it is at the highest point of the petals. At these highest points, we use slip stitches for connection, while at the lowest points, we crochet treble crochet stitches instead. Beside the lowest points, we use single crochet stitches for connection. For each gap, we use 3 chain stitches to connect. Let's continue to demonstrate. At the highest point, we use slip stitch for connection. Then, 3 chains and a single crochet stitch. 3 chains and 1 single crochet again. 3 chains again. We've reached the lowest point here. Crochet a treble crochet stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook into the large hole. Yarn over and pull the yarn through 2 loops on the hook. Repeat 2 more times. Then make 3 chains. We have reached another lowest point, a treble crochet in this large hole. Three chains. Let's continue crocheting the same pattern as demonstrated above. The edging on the top side is now complete. Let's turn the piece and start crocheting the other side. On this side, there are half flowers. For the half flowers, we crochet treble stitches in each of the large holes created by 2 chains, 5 chains and 2 7 chains. Let's demonstrate. After 3 chains, crochet treble stitch in this large hole. Then 3 chains. A treble stitch in the next hole of 2 chains. And 3 chains again. Mirror the stitches on the other side of the half flower. The edging of the half flower is finished. Now, at the lowest position, make a treble crochet. The remaining edging method will remain the same. Continue crocheting the border to complete the shawl. When we reach the last stitch, make a slip stitch to finish off the edging. We use the yarn needle to hide yarn tails into the same color stitches. A beautiful daisy shawl is now complete.